Hello everyone. In this part of the lesson, we will finish the design of the drawing, add in schedule of rooms, and prepare the drawing's final result for printing. We are about to use the Room tool to mark a space and automatically calculate the area. It is located in the Construction tab, in the Architecture group. Pay attention to the command line. For convenience, there are options for choosing the perimeter of the room. Let's leave everything as it is and start naming the rooms. We will specify the first room and a dialog box will open. In the left part of the window, we can specify the required information, which will later be used when creating a schedule of rooms. Let's fill in the name field. Many other fields are optional, but let's make sure that group of rooms and floor are also filled in. The Show Contour checkbox allows you to show the outline of the selected room. Just below, we can see the geometric characteristics that will be determined automatically and are unchanged, except for the height field. Let's leave everything as it is and go to the right side of the window, where we can see all the available options for markers to place. By selecting a marker, its display will appear in the Mark Preview window. In our case, we'll keep the name and the area checkbox active. Now click OK, and Room label will appear in the drawing. When we select this label, we can see its outline, which we can change using the editing grips. Let's continue creating rooms. Now we need to create a kitchen. It will be slightly smaller than the entire contour of the room. Let's leave these settings unchanged when creating the room and click inside the outline to bring up the dialog box. We can see that the outline of the room was created for the entire area bounded by the walls. There is no need in this, so we'll remove this room designation. Then call the command again, select the rectangle mode, and specify the Show Contour checkbox in the dialog box. Now the room area has become smaller. We will place the room indicator of the hallway next to the kitchen. Disable the outline display for the kitchen, and also disable the dimension layer so that they don't interfere with us. Let's denote the remaining rooms. We have finished naming the rooms. Let's look at our result. Now I suggest we start placing objects on the drawing. This is possible with the help of the Add Object command. Let's place the elements on the plan, such as sinks, toilets, bathtub, and shower cabin. Let's not forget to place a sink and an electric oven in the kitchen. Now let's prepare our drawing for printing. Let's add information to it in the form of tables, schedule of rooms, and list of elements of filling door and window openings. To do this, find the Schedule of Rooms command in the Architecture group in the drop-down list. Select the whole house and press Enter. In the dialog box, select the desired settings and click OK. Now we can see all the rooms in our house, as well as their area, in one list. By double-clicking on the table, we can bring up the dialog box and edit the information that will be contained in this table. Let's also correct the number 1 to be replaced by 1 floor. To do this, select the drawing and in the drop-down list, select the object type Space, and then click on the Leave in Selection button in the Properties panel above. In the Floor field, set the value to 1 floor. Let's create a new table. As you can see, the information in the table header has changed. Now I suggest we create the second table. List of elements of filling door and window openings. Choose it from the drop-down list and select the whole drawing. Place this table in the model space. As you can see, some information is left blank. We will correct it now. Let's use the Quick Selection command. Let's set that we are going to work with doors. In the Template field, set our value to Opening with Quarter and click OK. As you can see, the doors in the garage are selected. Let's name them in accordance. Repeat this operation with the other doors to fill in the missing information. Let's delete the old table and form a new one. As we can see, new information has appeared in the table. Let's remove unnecessary information from the table. Select our table and right-click on it. In the panel that appears, select the Edit option. By selecting the column heads, let's remove the unnecessary ones. Let's edit the table a bit to make it look nice. Now, using the Move Copy command, we will create a copy of the table and the house plan. To visualize where and what doors or windows are installed, we can enable the display of tags. Let's do that. We can move these tags to locations that are convenient for us, but I won't waste time on that and we'll move on to the print setup. Let's go to the layout. Call the print settings using the Ctrl-P key combination. Set the plotter to Internal PDF Plotter, Orientation to Landscape, Plot Style Table to Monochrome. Uncheck the Plot Objects Line Weights checkbox and apply the settings to the layout using the Apply to Layout button. Create a rectangular viewport using the Add Rectangle Viewport command. Hold down the Control key and click the right mouse button to open the panel with the setting of single snapping and select Endpoint. Specify the first point and repeat the same steps. Select the Active option in the panel that appears. Double-click to activate the viewport. Here we can also move as in the model space. Let's set the scale to 1 to 100. The drawing is a bit big, so let's make a sheet of A2 size. Now let's insert an A2 size frame. This can be done using the Title Block command. A dialog box will appear in which we specify that the frame will be ISO standard in A2 format. With a double click, we can go to the dialog box where we can edit the main title. We will set the scale to 1 to 100 and that nanoCAD is developed and check this drawing. Now let's make a set of documentation, which will consist of several sheets of drawings. In the program, it is possible to print the entire documentation package as a single PDF document using the Batch Plot command. But before that, we need to create the sheets. Delete the second layout by right-clicking on this tab and selecting Delete Layout. Confirm the deletion by pressing Enter. Now let's create a duplicate of the first layout, where everything is already set up, by selecting the Copy Layout option. We have created two layouts, which we will now work with and understand how to manage the information in these drawings. Before doing so, I suggest activating the Layer Manager panel, which makes it easier to interact with layers in your drawings. It appears on the left side of my screen, where the Properties panel is located. You can always customize its position by dragging and dropping it wherever you like, but I'll leave it there. Let's turn on all layers using the light bulb icon. On the second layout, let's customize the drawing. It will show our drawing with a list of elements of filling door and window openings. In the panel on the left, let's pay attention to the snowflake icons, or as they are properly called, the freeze icons. One of them is in a square, which means that only those elements of the viewport that are currently active will be hidden, and the one without a square will apply hiding of elements for the whole drawing. For example, let's disable objects and room labels on this layout. Let's go to the first layout and disable, let's say, objects and dimensions on it. Let's create another layout by copying the first one. Let's call it Layout 3. It will be A3 format with landscape orientation. Remove the old frame and correct the borders of the viewport according to the size of the sheet. Create a new A3 frame and make it the next sheet, not the first. Place the frame on the layout. Activate the viewport. Slightly adjust the position of the sheet and freeze the layers of objects, rooms, and tables. Other necessary layouts you can make yourself. I also recommend naming them appropriately so that you can organize the drawings and the set in the print settings. For batch printing, go to the Output tab and click on the Batch Plot button. A dialog box will open where we can see all sheets to be printed, configured plotter, paper size, and other information. For the drawing from the model space, we did not configure printing, as all the necessary information is displayed on the layouts. So let's remove this sheet from printing. Let's also check the Multi-Sheet Job checkbox so that the entire set of drawings will be created as a single PDF document. Let's specify the path where the document will be saved, and then it will automatically open and we can view it. As you can see, all the information from the layouts has been transferred to the PDF document according to what we customized. This is the end of our construction module course. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next lessons.